improves your chance to win. So once these are all one-time activity, usually like periodic activity, I would say, not one time. And then the actual process gets started where you have the opportunity, then you create a request for your pre-sales team from that opportunity. So I'll go with this. So let's say that there is an opportunity for Salesforce General and customer portal implementation. So you create a new PSC quote request from here. So let's say that, okay, I need a PSC quote request for general implementation, right? And this is for US dollar, which is corporate. These are all non-mandatory, but I'll say, okay, rough order, start with the rough order of magnitude. These are some, because I'm a system admin, so these show up, but yeah. And then when I go ahead and start creating, now this, I have assigned this to, let's say, uh, some of my pre-sales team member, or right, so that that person will get identified, notified that, okay, I have got new code requests to work on. These are all the details, descriptions, and all. This is the focus area. I got to know, okay, Salesforce General and customer portal implementation. So I start creating the code, and you'll get all this information. What's the process here, right? So I'll create for the US dollar. I'm not sure we have US dollar, but okay, let's go ahead. So general implementation. This is okay. So you can navigate from here, go back to if you wanted to, but now that you have got started, you probably have some assumptions prior to mention here that could fill up in your SOW if you could want to. Else you start navigating. The first step, usually when we go to the bottom-up approach, you can definitely go and start creating the timeline, right? From the top-down approach, it's usually done in the staff augmentation project where you have requirements needs from the customer. You just need to get in touch for the total fees that would we are going to be charging to customer, right? Nothing else we need to do. But for the usually the models are changing with the generative AI and all, right? So you need to definitely gonna be scoping because customers are gonna be more intelligent going forward, right? We can't in fact fake them out. And that's where the first step, now that we are here, we need to have some general. So these are all my SMEs defined templates in the system. We haven't introduced the search feature here for now, but soon we are going to be introducing the search feature in the next steps. But for now, let's say we need Salesforce General Basic. So I'll quickly go and add the Salesforce General Basic, and I'll I'll also okay. So I edit it. Uh, this is looks like okay. These are the general. These are the high level. Okay, customer needs these administrative tasks to be done. I'll apply the rate plan. So you'll notice that, right? Total hours here, it says the Salesforce General is 149, and and then total hours here are 149. The average cost that is calculated based on this is this. You can also see the average rates, all inclusive rate, any kind of derived hours if it is applied, right? I have included this. This rate blend is basically the blend that allows you to have staffing rules. So if you notice, right, there wasn't any staffing rule. So for this, now this is as you now you see that okay, where are the roles in LOE? This tell okay, 16 hours, but 16 hours, it is just for the developer, right? Now for the Scrum team, you need to have PMs and all. Correct. So for that, you would have another resource. So I'll go into that. But this assume this is a rough order of magnitude. Okay. So this is developer. Everything is being planned. Developer will take this much of time for sharing settings. Implementation developer will take, or administrator will take this time. Single sign on, right? Uh, I just applied it. Okay. It gives me, okay, this is total 149 hours for developer. Okay. But there is another roles that needs to be baked in here, right? So I'll apply it. Now you'll notice that, okay, total hours has changed. So this means including all the related roles where it comes up with 75. You'll see this calculated average. But now, if it is a rough order of magnitude and customer is asking you, oh, can you tell me how much cost it would cost to me? Right. Similarly, if you've asked this, how much it is going to cost to us, this product. So you'll see that this basically cost to us is basically 40 uh 400K, I guess. Right. This is like this user locale is India, so let's may show up the USD in this format. But once we change the locale, so it's around 400K. So what we could do is, okay, it would be around 400. Take some buffer, right, to 500K of implementation with the customer. This number is looks higher because the way that we have defined the staffing rules are like dummy rates. The original number could be different, right? When you have the real rates over there. You can also add the risk and all. This is like very common. Uh, this feature is you can do all the your actions. You can also add, right? So in the demo video, you must have seen this. You can also see the description. Going forward, we might introduce some of the AI feature, generative AI feature in it that will help you. You can delete it. One of the feature that you have noticed in the recording that you can clipboard it, and then you can use the chatter, and you can use your SME help by sharing the link to them. So this link, excuse me, this link basically, when you click on it, it will automatically land you, and this will keep this selected, and so the person and SME will get to know about this, where they have to work on, and they can also respond using the same chatter. There's some like collection actions, right? Collective actions. So you can do that here, right? You can change. Basically, is there something that you need to have marked as? All right. So we just have 10 minutes. So we'll use this 10 minutes for the scope size only, and then we'll start another meeting for the upgrade. So I'll continue here. Um, and then you can change the, let's say I wanted to keep this for these 3, 4, 5 for review, for under review. So I'll mark them. These are all amber. Probably if I use like if I wanted to select all these things, and maybe let's say that I need to add another component, which is security, right? And this security is a type of component, and this is basically so the only the so basically uh the parent can always be only component here. You can't have stories and apex to be parent, right? Component is the only type that could be parented, but nothing else. So let's say that if I want to move these 4 items, so not 4 items, so basically these 4 items, right? So these 4 items to the security component, right? So just to know that, okay, that's wrong. So what I'm gonna be doing is that, okay, these are all being moved in the security, and I'll just quickly make the arrangement of the records here, right? So it also gives us some of a high level idea that, okay, how many hours, developer hours are gonna be, are we on good here? Right? I can also change the complexity as usual that it used to be there in the past, and all the um, if I would have used like complexity hours percentage, right? So it would basically automatically update. You can see that out of 1632 has been updated, then overall hours has updated. But I can keep on doing the apply, and it will give me the calculated because hours and cost, right? So this, if it isn't doing automatically, you can do it. There's one thing that you can always write
Can
as
I,
an
Raj,
yeah.
can I see derived hours somewhere, like total derived hours for each and every role?
Yes, we can. So I'll come on that, as I said. But there's one thing, one important thing that we need to know here, right? So for every organization, they have their different needs, right? I can basically extend it out. So if you wanted to have more rows here, right? Though, I mean, this is a custom feature, so row could not be, we haven't baked in that, but you can have like each row item, you can, if this is a layout, you can add new fields of yours, and you wanted to have some uniquely identified fields, you can basically use this layout, the general layout, and use this page. It will add that field and you can update it and then done. Okay, so that is one of the feature that extend this feature of scoping. Right, you are not just bounded to these fields. You can add your own fields in the object, and then you can use this extended feature, additional fields feature, right, for your own business. Okay, now to answer your question, right, we have this section called total effort needs. Now you wanted to know that, okay, how many hours that we have, what are the various roles that we have, right? But it shows you the total role here, correct? There are basically some of the features it tells us that, okay, how much derived hours that in, right? It for now we have this, okay, for this part we have this derived hours for basically 130, 131, right? But when we go into the reporting section, I'll tell you that for each reporting section, this is all baked in and this can be also shown as a per rule. But that is an additional accelerator that we are going to be installing it from the reports and dashboard. So that is there. That is a separate object, so you can easily report out from those for the rule. Okay, then I think we just have 3 or 5 minutes, but this is where you can see the capacity needs for per role, what are the phases for each and for by role, by component. Okay, so this is a feature that it tells you that, okay, for security, what are the overall capacity need, right? Now, this, if you go on that screen, for security, it gives you that, okay, so this tells me that we need 80 hours of development efforts. But on this screen, you'll need for the security piece, security component, basically we need 412 hours, including all these roles. So this includes the derived hours as well, right? So what does it say is that the plan template that we have applied, we had 80 hours of development efforts with the complexity included. Then we have project manager, the similar hours of project manager, technical architect, business analyst, right? So this is one of the feature that actually tells you that, okay, for this component. Now, let's say if I wanted to know and check, did I perfectly scope the this component, general Salesforce general, right? Then it will also show you, okay, this looks like developer is 85. Why would I need project manager higher than developer, right? Business analyst is also taking more than developer. Is this correct? Is this basically so? I would go back and see, okay, what is there something that is it the overall, is there anything else for the other role being added? Right, so I can quickly go and check what are the other roles, which part is actually having those roles to be defined more. Okay, uh, as usual with some numbers, so what we could do is that, okay, so this is 45. Out of 45, we have 185 of drive hours. With the average rate, it tells us this is the average rate. All inclusive rate is basically if you wanted to have more rates, like one is the price tag, another is the, is there any other expenses, right? For some of the roles we have some additional expenses like travel expenses, so we can bake that in as well. We have rest hour, derived hours, and so this is basically 85 of developer, and this is 85 of developer, and then we have like 100%. So basically, it is rounding off the nearby 85 or 90. So this is now a guidance, right? So as we know, if there's a rough order of magnitude, we can quickly go and talk to the customer. Okay, it will take you 45. We are not, I mean, we're not signing SOW. We are not giving SOW to them. It's just roughly, there's always a question that how much cost it will take to me. Now, in past, people used to just give like, okay, random, okay, in my past project, it took this, right? Definitely it works well from the past project, and we can actually, we'll come back with those accelerators. But we can also go and consistently check, right? We know that with this customer, we might not need SSO, right? Now, we can't commit the same thing with the past project, right? What we could do is, okay, this is SOW, this is not needed here, right? So for this customer, it is gonna be 38, not 44. So we have more chance to win the deals, right? When we are doing it consistently. Okay, so let me just quickly stop the recording.